Oh my God. Pennsylvania, how are y'all? There. Okay. There. How is everybody? Look what I just picked up in the mailbox. This is so psychic and you can't see it, so I have to show you. Oh, I love how I just disappeared. A text came through and then I hit it to delete it and it went. Okay, look. See the picture up there on Lifetime magazine? Okay, so that's a weird story. So my father-in-law left that Marilyn Monroe magazine from 1982 for me in his estate, like after he passed. And look at this. This is from Tracy Hurst in Royal Oak, Michigan. Look what she sent. Look at how psychic she is. She can't see it up there, but now I have this one. Look at how great this is. She sent me this. What a love. Look at this, you all. Look, isn't this beautiful? Thank you so much. It was so weird. It was like it was a message from my father-in-law. I said, oh my God, see, but you can't really see it, but I have it up there, the one that he gave me, but now I have this one. So we're going to put it somewhere else in the studio. Isn't that beautiful? It's August 1982. Well, we all know she died then, but I mean in the 60s, but it was the anniversary edition. And it'd be nice if I could speak. Anyway, this was so fabulous. It's also really interesting to find out what they thought in 1982. I'm from that era, so I know what they what they thought. And then I have to mention this. I had the funniest oh, look at this. Look at this. Miss Monroe, I love her. Look. How gorgeous. 1962 she died. I think it was August 5th if I'm correct. I can't believe I've forgotten that. And doesn't she remind you, she was only 36, but doesn't she remind you, look in this picture. This down here, doesn't that look like, oh my God, Bewitched Sister, right? Yes, it popped up. Yes, 1982, August. This is so great. Thank you, Tracy, for that. I got it and I'm like, oh God, I hope it's not a lawsuit. Anyway, it was this and I was like, yay. Yeah, 36, but you know, that was also, nobody is swallowing 50 pills without water. I'm just saying, it's called a hot shot and they did it apparently, allegedly up the rear end. It's in the veins in your butt because no coroner is ever going to find that, you know? Yeah, August 4th, I know. Correct. But she got a hot shot. That's what we call it when they try to kill you, a hot shot. It is a hot shot, y'all. Anyway, super exciting. I mean, I got to tell you guys this. All right, if ever you want to subscribe to a new channel, you're like, why? But I'll tell you why. I have an interview dropping tomorrow with this lovely, I'm going to call him a kid. He's an adult, but he's younger than my kids, making him a kid to me. They're all kids, you know, at a certain point. Anyway, hi, you guys. So the channel is, and I got to make sure I get this right. So I have to look at it and put it in for sure to make sure I get it correct. Because I'm subscribed to it, but I will not, you know, whatever. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the link up, but it's a podcast and it's with Andro, but it's one-on-one with Andro Mamo. And I'm doing his podcast. And he also has the Jenny Rivera one out there and it's really good. So he just started this channel. So he's looking for subscribers. He interviews all kinds of people, knows all many different facets of people. And it's really kind of interesting. So I'm going to put the link when I leave. Yeah, Storm's interview was great too. Storm is lovely. I like him a lot. Taurus. He's a Taurus. I'm like, and he's a Taurus. But yeah, if you subscribe to Andro's channel, then you'll see all the other interviews. He's done like 8. The channel's so new, but yeah, it's a really great. He's a very good, yeah, it's super. He's really good. He's a cute kid and really very good. So by the time he gets to be my age, he should be all over the place. He's got a long time to go with that because he's like a kid. He's like one of my kids. Well, no. He's in the running if I'd have had kids late. But anyway, that's going to be a great podcast. And then on the heels of that, we're doing Bunny XO. So that's going to be super fun. Hello, my Cuban sister. You know, I got a Cuban temper like crazy. Anyway, so the name of the channel is One-on-One with Andro Mamo. Maybe if you put in, you can put that in. But if you put in, he interviews Jenny Rivera's daughter, Jackie, and that's a really good interview. So that's a super awesome interview. So that may be one you want to put out. I mean, watch, because it's kind of interesting. You know, Jenny Rivera, the singer that crashed in the plane, this is her kids that you guys all asked me to do a video on. Yes, right there. Yes. Yes, yes. You became a 666. We'll find humor in that. Anyway, the show drops tomorrow, and he's, I think you guys should follow him just by nature. He's a good, really good interviewer, very professional, and he kind of hunts his guests down to get the interviews. So he knew where to find me. I'm just going to say that. He found me eating lunch. So he's a local kid, and it's great. Yes, that's him. That's him. Sign up, you guys. I think you'll enjoy. He's doing more and expanding, so you may enjoy his interviews. They're totally different than other people's, and it's a different group of people because he's younger. He's on a different circle of people than that, you know. Yes. And then there's Storm Monroe. Correct. Sloan, do you think our kids will be around? Wait, what do you mean? Why would our kids not be around? Why are you saying that? Nashville, Tennessee in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. That's great. Hi from the UK. Awesome. He's very, yeah, Bobby. Bobby loved it. Bobby got a sneak peek because Bobby's, in fact, everybody that's a friend of Keith got a sneak peek because my channel came from my son Keith, and obviously, and so Bobby being the one who helped me just first of all doing the artwork and then getting my attention and literally writing up the police report as a private investigator, finding every single witness. This is year 4. Yes, I'm rejuvenated because I had lunch. So sometimes I get super tired. I'm going to do more readings after Bunny XO. I just can't focus, and I'm ridiculous with the classes right now, y'all. Ridiculous with the classes. So I'm taking the pole class. I have stretching class tonight. Flexibility. It's torture. Yeah, Bunny XO. It's going to be so fun. Tallulah's in the kitchen. You know what she did? She attacked my boots because there's fur around the boots. Anyway, that's what she's doing. Okay, so anyway, so many people. I know, pregnant. I'm not, but it cannot happen for me. So anyway, with the podcast, check in tomorrow. I think it drops around midday, California time. And you might really like this kid's work. He's quite good. Watch his interviews. You might find some other people you don't know. I watched one of the interviews. I didn't know who the person was. So it's really quite interesting. Yeah, so there's that. What about Rihanna? What has she done? Do you believe in, hold on. Come back. Do I believe in 6-toed foot is a sign of spirituality? I don't know. The signs of spirituality are not necessarily limited. I'm gonna put a link in the bio. So when I write, I'm gonna put a link in the bio. Maybe I should do it while I'm talking to you, since I'm that unorganized, y'all. But anyway, I don't know. No, the books aren't open yet. Tallulah. Oh my God. Okay, so obviously it's garbage day. You know she's going nuts. The bear is out there. The bear is out there as usual. Okay, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put Andro's link in my thing underneath this thing. I know the bears come by. I'm going to put it inside of the thing. Wild cherry. Yeah, your baby looks like mine, Piper. Yeah, so cute. Hi, Piper Kitty. I assume you're talking about a cat, not Keith, not a kid. And then, it's Andro. It's Andro. I said Andrew I started to say Andrew and it's Andro. So yeah, I would say he's a sensitive. Yes, I would say he is. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I want from you guys tonight. Let's see. Hello, Sloan Carol from, hold on. Carol from upstage New York. Oh, hi, Carol. How are you? Like, okay. Gang stalking suggestions. Absolutely. You know, I was gang stalked for years by these weirdos. I'm still being gang stalked. Understand, there's non-human, or as my Jason told me in high school, disincarnate human beings. So these are people that look like us, and I don't care if you believe me, whatever, but these are people that look like us, like look like human beings, and they're just basically like dead, dull, unmotivated, low vibrational pawn pieces that they insert in the middle of our lives, kind of to distract us. I mean, my Jason told me that in high school, and I was like, I'm not uploading normal videos right now, you guys, because I'm Carmen. Hi, Carmen. Oh, where did Carmen go? Carmen, remember, I'm Carmen's story. Go look for my video on Carmen's daughter, because that's an important story. So when we look, Caitlin Murray, when you look up that, please, Pat, you know my pronouns are fuck off and fuck you. Yeah, they're demonic. And by demonic, they're not run by a God source. So they're kind of, I wonder how Jackie, oh, I don't know if I should say this. Beautiful Jackie passed away a couple of months ago, Angie's mom. I don't know if I should say that out loud, but yeah. Jebra, her friend, called me to let me know that she passed away. Yeah, very unfortunate circumstances. And God, she was a lovely woman. I talked to her probably maybe 2 months before she passed, or within that, time frame, but she passed. I do know she's with Angie. She'd been struggling with health issues. It's not really my place to tell, but she did pass when you ask about Jackie, because she passed without ever getting confirmation that her daughter was murdered and didn't commit suicide. So yeah, so it was just horrible. Yeah. So people get gang stalked. Yeah, Jackie was lovely. Bobby loved Jackie too. And Jebra, shout out to Jebra. It sounds like Deborah, but it's with a J. I'm not making a mistake. It's with a J. So a murder in your mind's eye. Yeah. So shout out to Jackie. I didn't mention it, but because it's not really my place to say, but several months, they had the funeral. She passed, I think it was just before Christmas. I was very sad to hear it, because she was struggling, and without getting into personal details, but there was health issues. And obviously when your kid disappears off the planet, you're going to have issues. So, and now Jackie's family doesn't have the benefit of having lovely Jackie around, but she is with Angie. And Angie, who was with Keith, because I love telling this story. So thank you for that, Zachary. Thank you. Somebody called me intelligent today. That's fabulous. Okay, so Natalie, who was a client, okay, and Natalie, Keith came to her. That's how Keith comes to me sometimes, through other people. And she didn't even know that I've had other people tell me that Angie was with Keith. They're around the same age, and they kind of come in together because the moms know each other. We're both Leo moms, and we know each other. Anyway, we're in different states, and we never met in person, but Jackie was one of the first people to reach out to me when Keithy passed, and, understood, obviously, as a mother can understand. So anyway, Natalie was like, yeah, I had this weird dream, and she described it, and Angie and Keith were working in a certain dimension that she was in the dream. And it was very interesting because she described Angie and specifically talked about salted pretzels, which is specific to Angie, which was great. Let's see. Hold on. What is this? This may be dumb, but are you able to communicate with your son who passed? I have videos, Dakota. That's a good question, because I know people like to say the dumb shit. Here comes the microphone. If you're so psychic, then why don't you have the lottery numbers? Or how come you don't talk to your son? I did talk to my son, and I will say it happened during a live stream here. The only way I can describe it is when I saw his dead body on the ground, I went completely out of my body, and I'm still unable to feel anything. That's why I don't care for a lot of things. I don't feel anything, okay? It completely sucked the life out of me. I almost fell into the cement face forward when I got out of my car. Like you can see me, and I'm headed for the cement. And the same thing with Jason. It pulls your solar plexus right into the ground, which is what happened to me personally. But, and I did hear him, Andrew, happy birthday to Andrew and happy birthday to Allie. They're both Aries. Anyway, Andrew and Allie, two of Keith's besties, they were getting everything together for the memorial. So all the pictures. So Tia, Allie, and Andrew. And Tia's a birthday Aries. So happy birthday to Tia. Keithy's friends. Anyway, as I was in my house, I was in another studio, but as I was there, I had these big, I've described this before, these big Costco boxes, you know, the yellow ones, the big, huge ones. And I had like 5 of them full of pictures. And Keith had just brought them up to my new house because I was going to digitize them. So that was my Christmas project, right? Because I just wanted to do something so everybody would have it. And I was going to do it myself. Thank God I didn't, because I had over 10,000 pictures and in albums. And what are you going to do with that, right? Anyway, I was there and I started to cry. I could never cry publicly, but I started to cry. And there was like 5 of the boxes and I was going through one. So I'd lift one down, put it on the floor, and look through the pictures to give to Tia, who was handling the boards for Keith's memorial, some of which I have over there and those. So she was getting pictures and all over here. Anyway, big bang on the pictures. This was about 2 days after Keith passed. The night that he passed, I went back to my old home where they were all living, and I went into his bed and I felt him move through my body. And the way that I can describe it to you is the static on your TV. He came into his room. I couldn't see him. And he came into his room and he moved through my body, but it was like waves of energy. So I call it like the snow, because that's what it reminded me. And I knew it was him. He touched I felt him hug me as he moved through me. So he came to me then, and he's around. I mean, he knocks shit off the shelves all the time. People always call me when they have something about Keith. And I was doing a live stream in September. I did. I felt his presence. I felt him. And Tulip, my other kitty, Keith's kitty that died right after, as I was in the bed, Kenna came in the room and she was sitting on the edge of the bed and I was turned towards the wall in his sheets, like curled up in a ball. Kenna said, you know, whatever she said at the time, and she left the room and went in with Jason. But Tulip came in the room and bit the shit out of my hand. And I was like, Saskatchewan, my people, I was like, oh my God, why'd this cat just bite me? But she was really, happy birthday next week. She was really pissed off that Keith wasn't in the bed with her, but I felt him leave. He came down and hugged me. I was curled up in a little ball. You're not always going to feel everything if it's your child that passes. I had a much different connection with Keith. And Keith is, I like to say, he's flamboyant like his mommy. I know he did. You guys watched him appear on the blanket. Like, he is the best teacher. For anybody who thinks that psychic stuff is full of shit, I think it was September 20th of 2020 when I'm live streaming. I'm literally live streaming, not in this set. It was in my other set. And there's 2 chairs. And it was Michael Dade and Bobby Basha who both sent me the picture, okay? They both sent me the picture because this picture I have of Keith, you know, where he's like flexing, and the side view of his face, and it's a different picture than the one I have on my arm, but very similar. It's literally living proof that your spirit lives on, because I had the turquoise blanket on the chair, not that chair, an actual armchair. And people are like, yeah, the lights were in my face, and people are like, somebody's making a face on your chair. See, you guys remember because you saw that. You saw that. If that is not proof that somebody is manifesting, because you guys turned on, like right now, live stream, right? Whatever was going on behind me. And I jokingly said, and I remember this, I jokingly said it's probably Jim Morrison, because I couldn't see it when I turned around because the sun was coming in the front, the lights, because I was in a different thing. You guys saw that. Now, when they talk about evidential mediumship, okay, they talk about giving facts for people who know people's names and have looked at their credit cards and stuff. And that's not to say it's not true, but this literally manifested in front of you. Like I was nowhere near it and there was nobody back there. Like I was by myself and you guys could see it. And it was Bobby and Michael that sent me the picture, and they put the face that drew itself on the blanket with Keith's, you remember it. I mean, I don't know how people can't think that's not psychic or mediumship. I don't know how, right? Deborah, right? Deborah knows. Deborah knows all the way back from the beginning. So, and you remember when Jimmy came to tell me that, I mean, I said it live stream. Jimmy was standing right behind me. And it was very clear. That's how my kid communicated with me. He did it on my public channel platform, which was amazing. And you guys saw it. It was amazing. It was incredible. It still doesn't bring him back, but it blew my mind. It blew my mind. I was like, that is, seriously, the video link, I have to go back and find it. Somebody who knows what link it is, tell me. Because I have to go back and watch the links and go back, but it's somewhere in September of 2020. And it's there. It's up there. People know it. I mean, they're not, or everybody's a liar because people want to say that. But Keith comes through quite a bit. He tells me what I need to do because Keith, it was incredible. And then like the next week, a K was on the back of the blanket. Like I washed the blanket. I did all of that. And then there was a K that popped up during a live stream. So, no, it's crazy. It's an actual, I was live streaming. I literally was live streaming and it happened and I didn't even see it. Okay. I didn't even see it because I couldn't really see it because I need glasses. We know this and I refuse to wear them. But if that isn't proof, you have to look for evidential proof, and it comes in subtle ways. But you guys saw it. And then you guys took a picture of me through the camera with it manifesting behind me. And then Bobby sent me that. And Michael sent me that. You guys sent me that. And then you put it with Keith's face. It was as clear as day. As clear as day. Just like that chair is there. This chair had a blanket and it manifested. So clear. So when people are deniers and they say things, that's my connection to Keith. Keith has helped me with this platform from the beginning. Yeah, no, it was behind me. I wasn't in front of it. I like this. Though that stuff is all behind me. Like you can see. It's all behind me. So I had nothing to do with it. I was talking to you guys and I said it's probably Jim Morrison. I couldn't even see it happening at the time. And so that is how my son manifests. Now, Keith was a Leo rising. So he's like his Leo mother. He decided to come through in a public platform. But I do work with Keith. And you guys remember, you guys know. So when people say and are looking for things like the lottery numbers, those are tangible earthbound things and not necessarily wasn't on the blanket. No, it wasn't on the begin. It wasn't on the blanket in the beginning. I streamed the whole video. Like nothing is edited. It's streamed like I usually do. I don't edit anything. And no, there were no lines on the blanket. It manifested while I was live streaming, period, end of conversation. Like you can say whatever you want to say. You can say or do whatever you want. I'm going to try to pull it up now on this phone. I don't think I have it on this phone. I don't think I have Instagram. But anyway, it literally happened. Like, so I love it when my children communicate like that. Jimmy would always make himself known and stand in front of me. That's what he did from day one. Showed me how he passed, showed me all of that. There's another thing. I don't have the blanket in the set because I'm even squishier. The blankets in the closet or in the storage behind the wall because I'm in a smaller space. But people also say things, and I wanted to see. You saw the live NOLA girl there. I mean, not the whole channel's crazy, but it's evidential. So people like to, bag on you, whatever. Another, he drew his face in the blanket. And it was absolutely incredible. Like it was amazing. He was amazing. And I posted it and he was my beautiful little child who did that. And so, I mean, he really was. And he did his face. I have to find that. I know I can't get it. It's on this phone. I'm looking over here on Facebook. But anyway, there's another thing I wanted to address with that so people understand. And then I'll get back to Gangstalking. But here's another thing. People, when you saw his face there, Wolf Mother saw his face. Like it was obvious. Anyway, what you really have to understand is when people say something in a psychic, they're known as prophets in the Bible. which doesn't make them better or worse. It's just the name that they used, okay? But predictors of events, when they say something, for them to pick it up, it's already in motion, okay? Out of the blue, little sunshine, right? Out of the blue. He did say hi. I'm telling you, my son was amazing. Thank you for that. But it's kind of, no, he really did. He really did. What you have to recognize is when people say, because I'm clairaudient, which means to clearly hear and to clearly speak, also could be known as claircognizance because it's clear knowing, so saying and knowing. I just happen to have OCD and repeat myself when it's psychic. They make me say it. I'm not making anything happen. And here's how you know this. I've said this many times on my channel. If people saying that somebody was going to die or pass or whatever, don't you think George Bush would be dead, or Orange Man Bad would be dead, or Obama would be dead, or whomever would be dead? How many people said they wanted Orange Man Bad dead? Like, really? So your words, you don't have that kind of control or power unless you're bringing something behind it, doing some sort of spell sorcery work. And even if you're doing that, you have to be really good at it because it bounces back on you. So when people say that, just look at my first life ever and last. I'm with you, sister. You have to watch it. Psychic work. People want to say they love psychics and they love tarot cards and they love astrology, but they're not willing to give the person actual like props for being clairaudient. You have to understand what clairaudient is. Psychics are in the Bible, whether you like it or not. They're known as prophets. The 3 wise men followed the North Star on the advice of a prophet. So the prophet, I always say North Star, but it was a star. People say, I haven't read the Bible. However, when you look at that, so following the stars, charting the stars is another word for astrology. And prophet is another word for psychic, okay? What they mean by false idols is people who are in government and shit like that. And you should not be, or psychics, you should not be giving all your attention to any one person because that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Prophets are in the Bible. I can't, seers, yeah, I can't help who I am. So when they like to say things, it's interesting because, you know, you have to be intelligent and articulate to talk about the metaphysical, because if you're only well versed in a skinny fraction of it, you don't really have much to say. It's kind of like you're not really saying anything and it's not really contending to anything. I'm looking for this picture over here. I think I posted it on Facebook. So I'm looking. I know Bobby sent it to me. So I'm looking. I'm going back through so many pictures. But you have to understand also that it's not necessarily uncommon for people to get scared when there's a real psychic or to try and to find it because they can't control it. Okay. Yeah, lots of children are missing. Exactly. That's correct. They are missing. That's true. My work as a psychic person is work that comes from, can we see the tattoo? Yeah, you can see it in a sec. I'm looking for the blanket picture. It's going to make me crazy, y'all. Anyway, let me look. I've got to go back several years. But when it comes to missing children, is to actually work with the energy of children who've been trafficked and in the sex industry. And I've been doing that literally in shelters since I was 17. So I'm still doing that. I have 2 rooms at the new shelter that my friend took over. But when you look at it, it's about the energy of freeing yourself from the ability, okay, like freeing yourself from shame, right? So it's about freeing yourself from shame. No, I'm dying to show it because I have to show it. It was so extraordinary that I actually have to show it. People get stuck when they've been in the sex industry, and a lot of people in the sex industry are psychic. It's a translation from the job, okay? It's a translation. And when we look at people in the sex industry, whether it be strippers, whether it be street prostitutes, call girls, high level escorts, or feet finders, or OnlyFans, or whatever it is you're doing, right? When you look at that and you look at them and you say they're the problem, they're not the problem, because they were 9 out of 10 times sexually abused in their childhood home. It comes from abuse. So the problem is actually the parents that raised the kid. Not that it's trauma based, correct. Not that the child had to run away at 14, which I did, to save myself. So it's not about that. Like, if you think you can describe it, let's see how you do at 14, when 2 months after turning 14, when you have to caretake yourself. So that is why that industry is there. It is just an easy way to make money without ID or whatever. I don't know about that right now. Like, this different, obviously it's different time frame right now. But when you look at it, people have an opinion and a judgment. I made it. I'm not on drugs. I'm not on alcohol. I'm healthy and I help other people. That we are all children of God, except for the demons. They're not. But when you look at it, if you don't contribute back to society, okay? I need several drinks. You're funny. If you don't contribute back to society. Now, the nicest thing that I ever saw was at Keithy's funeral, because we had it in the park because it was COVID, obviously. But when his funeral or service, and one of the homeless people in the park walked up to the pastor, and because Keith's picture was there, and said, "What happened?" And he said, "Because he used to bring us food and give us water." So Keith worked out in that park, which is why I had the service in the park. And besides that, they were locking everybody in. And so it was important because Keith gave of service. Jana, Jana's been with me since day one. Jana knows that. I love Jana. I love Estelle and Jana. So when you're looking at people, and we like to say and to judge, there is no judgment on your experience, because your experience is how you maneuver through this world. And I was so grateful because I worked at a shelter in Los Angeles where they took my abilities as an astrologer to help the kids. Because if you're a cop or a social worker or a psych doctor, you're probably not going to open up to them. So I used to read the charts I volunteered my time, just so we're clear, until I worked for them, but I volunteered my time and I read the charts. And so when I did that, it would help them see themselves from a different direction. That's what I love about astrology. I have always donated my time to the shelters. And as I said, there's a room being donated for Keith, and there's a room being donated for our whole family, which me and Johnny, Johnny, my friend, not Johnny, my husband, but Johnny, my friend, but you know him. Hi, you guys. Thank you for that. Anyway, he's helping me with the putting up the shelves because we don't need people getting bonked on the head. So I used to do the classes in the shelter and talk to the kids and do that kind of thing. I believe aliens are real. I saw them as a child. So they are kind of energetically disincarnate, non-human form. So when you're looking at aliens, you have to determine, is this something from another planet, or is this kind of a demonic force? There's some discrepancy. I definitely believe in aliens. I don't think when I say planetary, dimensional planet, the doors are dimensional. No, I've done the real work my whole life. I have done the real work my entire life. I always put my money where my mouth is. You can literally step into my life and I'm doing the same thing. I donate my time. I donate my money. And again, when it comes to charity, I give to people I know in my personal life because I know them. I don't give to corporations and do that. I give of my time and I give of my income. And in fact, I give a certain amount of income away every week because Keith was doing that. So I do that for him. It's always on behalf of Keith. That is what I chose to do with my son when he passed. So I do that. I know I can't find this stupid blanket. Oh my God, it's going to make me crazy. I'm seeing all the videos of Lila and I in Palm Springs and all kinds of videos. But Keithy taught me a lot about helping people and helping people do things. that is my mission. I'm here until I pass, and my goal is to basically keep Keith's name going, love my grandkids. I found the K in the blanket. Let me find the other one. I'll show you the other one first because the K is like counter dramatic, but hold on. Let me find the blanket. Oh my God, where is it? So annoying. I decided to do this all at the same time like a crazy over here. I decided, to basically, when I started this channel, I thought I was too old, and I found it, y'all. So we're going to pull it up right here. So I want you to look. I posted it January 9th, 2021, but I think the link was September for some reason. But I want you to look. I'm live streaming. Okay, can you guys see it? Can you see? I'm live streaming. Look on the blanket behind me. And then look at Keith's face. And then look at the face behind me on the blanket. Bobby took these pictures. Can you see that? Can you see that, you guys? See it? Do you see it? Isn't that incredible? That's how my son communicates with me. So it's not that my son didn't communicate with me. It's that it wasn't the same way his brother Jimmy communicated with me, which was something that was, Jimmy was like he's my age. So he just stand in front of me. Keith is dramatic and he's powerful, and he came in and that's what he did. I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy, but that happened. Like that's me talking to my phone, and you can see the face behind me, and I'm reading, and it manifested, and there's his face. Like Bobby sent me that. That's a true manifestation of a soul that's on the other side. So I am so glad that they caught it. 2 people sent it to me, and everybody was like through the phone, and Bobby was like texting pictures and sending it. And I am so grateful for that. I don't know what to say. If you think it's fake, it's fake. But that's my son communicating with me. And he has done that all along. I am guided by him. That's just what they can do. He's different than his brother. Jimmy always steps in front of me. That's what Jimmy did. Keithy did this. It's kind of interesting, but that shows you. So when I say there's evidence, I mean, you can go ahead and say I did it, but it wasn't at the beginning of the live stream. I did know, like, the blanket it's a manifestation. The blanket was clear. I always had that purple blanket. And then if you look at this one, I want you to look at this one. I'm talking on camera and somebody sent me this one. Can you see the letter K behind me? Do you see that? You see the letter K? You see that? Do you see the K? I'm talking on the live stream just like now, and somebody is taking a picture of me through the live stream, okay? And sends it to me. Because I can't even take that picture. That's me talking like this, and I'm still wearing a black turtleneck, and I still have my sunglasses on. So you guys see how spirit manifests. My son wanted you guys to see that he was okay, because every single one of you helped me with my son's funeral and all of those things. So and he started this channel. So he is coming. The next project that I'm working on, shout out. Anyway, the next project that I'm working on is a project that involves both Keith, Jason, and I, and other families like our families. So that, I'm busy working on stuff so that I can at least illustrate to people that there is a way. I loved my Keith more than you saw his face. You literally saw his face. Like, people can't lie and say that's not his face. You can make up whatever. You saw the fireworks. I always throw a party for him on his birthday and light the area up till the police are called. And don't write on my Facebook. Somebody wrote, oh my God, you could catch shit on fire. We're in a park on the sand in the parking lot. Like, I have to take this off. Somebody wanted to see the tattoo, so I'll strip down. I have to go to class later tonight anyway, because I'm at the gym, everything. But you saw the face, right? Okay. So that's a fact. I'm not making that up. That's an actual fact. So when you see that, thank you for that. There's Keith and Jason, and then beautiful. There's Keith when he was like 3, and this is a picture, the last picture on Keithy's phone, and what was on his phone, and another sunflower and a beetle. But no, manifesting, I saw it. You guys saw it. You who are on my channel witnessed that, okay? Witness that. I put it away already. Sorry. He's a funny kid. Oh my God. He's such a prankster. He comes through all the time, just not in the way that you think he should. Because people like to judge, but that's a I mean, that's proof. You can say whatever you want, but I know they're beautiful. This is Ruger's work, and Ruger is a friend of Jason's. And so, yes, Keith started this channel with me. He wanted me to do it. He wanted me to bring the issue up of the abuse. And the last text I got from Keith, which was really funny, he was so much my kid. Keithy wrote me, "Mom, they're arresting the pedophiles." That was like one of the last texts that I got from him. Keith was he came through. He is a beautiful child. Your loved ones can come through like that too. Your loved ones. Every time I mention Ruger X, the Ruger X did my tattoos. But he's incredible, and he is brilliant, and he's truly an artist. Also, look at Ruger in the way that he works. He works with the dead because he puts the living and the dead on your arm. It's incredible. So yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, the blanket's on the Instagram account, but you got to go way down. So go down to 2020. It's definitely there. It's below the tattoos and below all of that. But yeah, he is just, your loved ones come through like that. Just because people say, "How come you can't blah, blah, blah?" I did. I just showed you. And if you're not going to believe that, you're super invested in not believing it. So I don't know what to say. And then Tulip passed. Yeah, Keith died on a motorcycle, and Jimmy was a drug overdose. Keithy, yeah, no, I hear from him. I don't not. He puts thoughts in my head. I hear from him. Another example, I went to my chiropractor. Is Ruger your cousin? He's so great. Are you kidding? He's fucking great. He's going to kill me for mentioning his name on here. Look at this shit on my arm. It's fantastic. Look, it was the most painful thing I'd ever done, and he had to put it around the other ones, but this is just Ruger, not the sunflowers, okay? Not the sunflowers and not the writing, but this is Ruger all the way. I mean, that's little Keithy at 3, and that's Keithy at 5. 4 up there. So the baby Keithy, I mean, it's amazing. Okay. Just amazing. And it was the best thing I ever did because I kiss my son every morning on my arm. Oh, and then he did his friend Jason on my arm down here. That's Jason at his baby shower. So, and there's not a person who doesn't know me, who knows knows Jason, just says, "Oh my God, that's Jason." So, anyway, there was, what was I saying? There was another thing that happened, and I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. Oh my God, I can't remember what it was. It was something like crazy like that. Yeah, they're beautiful. They're wonderful tattoos. But yeah, no, the work is impeccable and incredible. It's the most painful thing I've ever done because I never had tattoos, and I was like, oh my God. I would sit there and I would start doing this. Oh yeah, Jimmy manifests a lot differently. But when you're looking at your loved ones, you have to remember they're going to come through. Now, there's 2 things involved with communicating because it's the most gorgeous ink. I'm so grateful for it. There's nothing else I want. If my entire house burnt down and I lost my car and all my photos, they're digitized. But let's say I lost them, whatever. I have my children on my arm. I can go. When I die, they die. That's it. And I put Keith's ashes in my arms as well, in the ink. And that's what I did. And I didn't ever think I'd do that because I just didn't even think I would do that. I never thought about that, but I did it. So it was incredibly important for me. I had to do that. And it was funny because little Paige, it's giving me a headache. Paigey, she said to me, she called me one night and she said, I had a dream. This was after Keith died. And she said, in the dream, I walked into whoever's house and Keith was there. And he was showing me the tattoo of you on the tattoo. He tattooed your name down his arm. And she said in the dream, oh my God, your mother's going to be so mad at you. And I'd already made my plans to tattoo him on my arm. So it kind of happens like this. So here's the thing, you guys. All right. People ask, I've gotten a lot of emails. How do you open yourself up? How do you open yourself up? The words say, stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. That was on Keith's screen cover when the police handed me, it wasn't the police, it was a coroner, handed me his phone. I still have the money that was in his pocket that had the blood on it. I took it all, everything, and I kept it in a bag. And that's what Keithy had as his screensaver. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. It's a daily reminder. So I continue to move forward. And people have this misconception, like when somebody dies, that you're supposed to respond the way that they think that you should respond, okay? Like that's what they feel. They feel you should respond the way that they want you to respond. Everybody responds differently in grief. You have your mom's inhaler. There you go. Everybody responds differently in grief. And it's important to realize that the way that you respond is good for you. I love talking about Keith. This whole channel is about my son and my children. I've had my grandkids on here. Well, not Meadow. Hi, Bobby. Bobby painted that picture of Keith. I told you this because he told her to. I did not know Bobby when Keith died. She watched my channel, but I didn't know her. And she said Keith came to her. Her husband told me this. It's not just Bobby. It's Bobby and her husband. They can't both be crazy, okay? But I'm laughing because our conversation earlier was kind of funny. And I have Vicks under my nose because I'm always stuffed. Not stuffed now. The Vicks is working. Anyway, Bobby has lights in her bedroom, but they're not, they're plug-in. Like it looks like, it's not real like candles. It's a plug-in fake candle light, okay? And it was unplugged. And she said the lights were flickering. And so she knew to draw the picture of Keith. This is something she does. And she sent it to me. She psychically wrote down everything, including, I'm not going to give this one up yet, but including people's names, the middle name, the first name, she would get it. And she said, let me help you. Your son wants me to help you. She came to me. I didn't seek her out. She came to me. Do you see what I'm saying? Literally came to me. So that's because Keith wanted her. The picture in front of Keith is another client of mine that Keith came to who said he wants me to paint his mother. So she painted that for me at Christmas. People, I'm not making it up. I've never met them. They are doing it and they are taking the time to do it, which is so lovely that you have no idea. It's so beautiful. People are lovely. They're so kind. They are so kind. So kind. So beautiful and so kind. So it's amazing. Here's another thing. The way that people grieve is so individual. The way that your loved ones come to you, and again, each person that you know that dies, your mother, your father, your daughter, your son, your baby, the baby in your stomach, the baby that you just gave birth to, your grandfather, your grandmother, your great aunt, whoever, okay? The way that those people, when they leave their physical body, they don't change. They don't change, okay? They don't change their persona and suddenly become loud because they're on the other side, or shy because they're on the other side. They transcend with their personality. That is not to say they're doing the same earthbound things, but the way that they communicate is the way that their body registers. And the way that you pick up the frequency is kids always see spirits, cats see spirits, dogs see spirits. The way that you pick up people and the way that you can know that you're picking them up is you have to practice practice subtly picking up on the cues, familiar spells, things put in your head. It depends how your body registers. I'm a very loud person and I'm a very matter of fact. So in order to make me know that you're there, you kind of have to jump in front of me without jumping in front of me. My son Keith was like that. He was gregarious with a lot of friends all over the place. You know, he was a combination of both his father and I. We have we have friends of every, whatever, old, young, and everything in between. Keith was like that. He never spent 1 minute in the same place ever. He went to this group of friends, to that group of friends, to those friends, to the straightforward. Yes, Aries, Deborah, you're like John. Just it's straightforward. So every walk of life. So Keith is going to come through like that. Jimmy was a double Sag and full of fun and also very straightforward and my friend. And so he steps forward in a friendly way. Keith makes a splash. Keith's a Leo rising and he makes a splash. Your loved one has to communicate with you the way that they are, and then the way that you receive it is the way that you are outwardly in the world. So to get my attention when I was so grief stricken, like many people who have kids that have passed or parents that have passed or husbands, wives, whatever, children, whatever it is, you're probably understand when you put a wall of grief up. I went completely numb. I don't feel. I have this persona where I go on continuing to do things. And because what choice do you have? Oh, there you go. August 15th, Lori. Me too. Yeah, the 18th. Keithy's the 18th and you're the 19th. The 19th was Joseph, my friend Erica's son who just passed. Joseph's birthday was the day after Keith. Jason's age, but the day after Keith. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Almost Leo, Billy Joe, not Joel. But it's interesting. Yeah, the cat sees Keith. The cat is playing with somebody all the time. Meadow was talking to somebody on my lap yesterday. It could have been both Jimmy and Keith. And I'll tell you, one of the most extraordinary things that I noticed happened was when I was talking to a friend of mine who is a psychic, and she said, Keith is over there. Your father's here, she said to me. And I'm like, okay, my adopted dad's been gone for years. I don't pick him up anymore. I used to pick him up, and he was with me a long time, and then the energy just kind of went away. They can come and go as they choose, but they have lives on the other side, and they have things that they do, and they could reincarnate back, etc., whatever. So, my psychic friend says to me, you know, your grandfather's here and is really happy because Keith is just really like him, right? So I was like, okay, that could be John's dad because we used to call Keith Little Slim, like John's dad Slim, right? They're both tall. And Keithy was certainly slim and he used to cry and loudly like John's dad. John's dad didn't cry, but was loud, right? And so April 3rd is John's birthday. But anyway, so I assumed it was John's dad. So I assumed the message was from John's dad. This is no joke when I was getting this. Anyway, and she kept saying, I don't think it is. I think it's your dad, she kept saying. And she was 100% right. I do not know my biological dad, but through Ancestry last March, I found out that he had died 3 months before Keith. Okay, so he died in March of 2020. Keithy died in July. And it was my father on the other side. And when I hear about the personality types, it sounds very familiar to the family. So it's really quite interesting. You will be showing signs. And the fact that people assume that this world is the way that it is and they throw so much like fear and shade at people who are in this world is super interesting because you must have no faith. You must think that this life is that important, which it can be, but it's not. So you have to learn how your body hears information. Now, here's a little thing I'm going to tell you all to do. For the next 21 days, so 3 weeks, that's why I say 21. Takes 3 weeks to train the brain to get off an addiction, to get on to a habit, to whatever. So for the next 3 weeks, before you go to sleep, right before you go to sleep, like, you know, when you're rolling around and you turn TikTok off and like you're going to sleep and you're like, oh, my eyes, you're trying to watch more, but you're like, I'm going to fall asleep. Okay, right when you roll over like that, just before you do that, say, I want to communicate with my loved ones, however you would word that, and make it clear to me. Because you're asking, a lot of people ask for it and they get afraid or don't understand it or get confused. Ask for that. Ask for that, okay? Hi there, new Nick Johnson. So ask for that. That's my PayPal. Sorry for asking. I have no idea what you're talking about. I kicked my last addiction in the ass. Good, Maria. Kick that addiction in the ass. So when you want spirit to communicate with you, you have to train yourself. And then when you get information, so when you get a feeling, pay attention. Do you feel it in your body? Do you walk through the mall and like something gives you the heebie-jeebies? Or do you hear things in your head and you're like, wait, I'm not thinking that? Or do you feel sad or happy or whatever? You have to figure out. Or do you feel like blurting something out? Just keep in mind, when people critique you, it's because they're ignorant. They're ignorant as to how psychic work and how mediumship works. They are pretend in the spiritual community. You can't say, like, it's all about frequency. So it's about the frequency and the frequency that the person is on, because they have to, if you look at the Earth's energy, it's very dense here. Obviously, read the news. It's like a garbage pit here. So they have to bring their energy down, and the medium has to quicken their energy to connect to that, because we don't reside on the same level. If you're picking up on something, yeah, I know, Deborah. I know. I think we've talked about it. I think you get all kinds of shit coming at you. That's right. You're like, it's hard for them to match ours. It's very hard. Super hard. So you have to figure out how your body receives it. How does your body receive it, right? We're working on all the other social media platforms. So we're doing that. We are working on that. We are also working on the podcast. Lots of good things coming, you guys. Sloan going to be everywhere. It's going to be a happy time. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't have Botox lips, but thank you. People love to say that. Y'all can find the video where I put my lipstick on. Here, just look really close. No Botox. Do you want to know how you do this to your lips? Would you like to know, since you're such a hater? Really jealous. You know what you do? I've done a video where I come on with no lipstick, but I do what Lucille Ball does. I overline my lips, and then I put the color in my lips in the middle there. I should probably do too much over here, and that's what I do. But you can see I don't Botox or inject. People like to, yeah, I know people like to say that. It's like, I'm sorry I'm attractive. Too bad for you. It's a bummer. They don't like pretty people. All you pretty ladies out there, I applaud you. I applaud everybody, but they don't like it. They just don't, yes, that's the way to do it. Deborah, you remember Lucille Ball. Deborah and I are the same age, so we kind of know. But I mean, people are like so funny. They're like, you do this. It's like, do you know what a real face looks like without anything? Like, I was born blessed with my face. I'm sorry that bothers you. It bothers a lot of people when you say that. I'm not going to apologize for my appearance at almost 60. I look fucking fabulous because I don't drink and smoke. So there, how about that? I mean, we all look old. I look my age, but whatever. Thank you for that. These people, what do you want me to do? Cry because you think I have like lip injections? I mean, whatever. These are my teeth. Not that one. And not that one. Sugar. This one's kind of brown, but I don't even whiten my teeth. I don't even whiten my teeth because sometimes that looks stupid. Anyway. Yeah, I guess they're used to superficial stupid. This is what I look like every single day of the week. I mean, maybe my makeup's on a bit better and I'm not sweating, but I came from the gym. I mean, and I'm going back to the gym. So there's that. But yeah, people are like, and the cheekbones are Viking and the eyes are my mother's. There's pictures of her on my Instagram. You can see my face. You can see my face. I was fatter before, if you want to say that, but whatever. They always do that. I know, they're so stupid. And they're usually ugly people. Like, usually the people saying shit like that, if they looked in a mirror, the mirror would crack. I mean, let's be serious. Because they have an ugly soul and an ugly face. So I don't know what to say. But anyway, you get the face you deserve at 50. You get the face you deserve. If you are kind, it shows through your face. Unless you've had some issue. But anyway, I just can't with people. Now, let's go back and talk about gangstalking. So gangstalking is an energetic thing. Okay, so yes, I'm definitely a man. Yeah, definitely. 100% a man. Are you a dude? Yeah, I guess. It's lucky that I have the video of my vagina womb and subsequently my vagina giving birth. So I have two videos. I have Keith's birth video and Jason's birth video, and you can see their heads coming right out of my body. So I don't know if you want to maybe you identify that as a dude because you're in La La Land or something. I don't know what to say, but I had home births. My husband John was there. I know the haters are fabulous. My shit's blowing up, y'all. This is great. So the haters are doing me good because every time you mention Sloan Bella, I don't care what you put. Put a picture of a fig tree up there. It doesn't fucking matter. It just makes people come over here to my channel and makes me money. That's what it does. So keep doing it. Keep talking. Like Clint Eastwood said, there is no bad PR. Keep doing it. No bad press, bitches. Keep doing it. I don't care. What do I care? Anyway, I just keep laughing to the bank. People are so fucking dumb. Keep mentioning my name. Say it loud, and I'm proud. So say it loud and proud. Yeah, I'll just buy a house. I mean, whatever. Another car. Whatever. Buy somebody else a house. Keep going. Keep going with it. Maybe I'll buy another pair of lips. How about that? I'm sorry. This just struck me as funny. Okay. So when we're talking about gang stalking, it's a frequency thing. Now, they can gang stalk groups of people. Let me use an example back in the day before gang stalking was a thing. And I think the computer, right? I think the computer and the mainstream media is part of this. But go back to the Tuskegee experiments or whatever they call it, when the health department injected all. Hi, Ashley. Oh my God. Congratulations to Ashley. She's, I know Ashley. Ashley knows this. Ashley has been gang stalked. Ashley has been, I'm going to say it, locked up. Ashley has worked through her shit. Ashley knows I'm legit. Ashley, I met you. I met Ashley in the midst of her humongous issue in this life. And I was gifted to her as a reading. I guess that's the way to say it. Anyway, Ashley now has a little nephew, a little baby boy her sister had, and she's an aunt. God, she's an aunt. So that's so great. Yeah, the Tuskegee. I never say it right. So it was in the South. Yeah, cute little boy. He's so cute, so cute, so cute. But anyway, the Tuskegee, it's a Tuskegee. Oh, thanks, Ashley, for that. The Tuskegee affair. I mean, Ashley knows I'm legit. Ashley, you know I'm fucking legit. I know she's legit. We have similar backgrounds. Neither one of us is crazy, and we're highly intelligent. Both of us. And people want to call us all kinds of fucking names because people are stupid. But anyway, keep saying our names because it does us both good. Yeah, it does us both good. Ashley and I get props when you say our names. It just propels us up. Don't you understand that? Talking about us just increases our frequency. Hello, do you know metaphysics? Duh. But anyway, gang stalking is a frequency. So the Tuskegee affair, when they brought all of the black men in the South, and I forget which state it was, they told them, and they put ads in the paper. They took a group of people based on appearance. I'm talking about gang stalking. Based on appearance and I guess income and job level and age. Okay, so men in their procreation years, which men can procreate their whole life, but in their perfect stream of life, 30, Alabama, thank you, 30s, 40s, and 50s, like when they could be really strong, really agile. And they deliberately injected them with syphilis. And I talk about this as a kid. It was mind-blowing. They denied it. And these men were thought of as crazy, and they infected their wives and future babies, which caused domino effect with babies' health, their wives. Nobody knew what they had. And so in a way, that's a form of medical gang stalking, taking a group of people that they want to see the outcome of terrorizing them. This just happens to be medical terrorizing. So when you look at modern day gang stalking, they will take a person if they don't like what you're saying, and they will fuck your shit up. They will ruin your electrical stuff. They will get you in accidents, do stuff to your family. But where the difference is here, instead of coming straight out of the government area, they're coming from the astral level, which is the first dimension outside of Earth. And they come from that level where they have access to energy frequencies that we don't have, because we're down here. And what they talk about a firmament is the gridding of this planet. This planet is gridded in. We are kind of gridded here. The only way we get out is by dropping the physical and leaving. Otherwise, we could switch dimensions, okay? So it's the gridding of the energy. And gangstalking, no, it's not another name for racism, but the Tuskegee affair is, it could be. It's any group of people that they want to malign and to terrorize. So you could say that, but it also happens to white people, Asian people. Sometimes it'll happen to a group of people at work, like a particular company, and it's an experiment. Other times it happens to people when you get too close to the truth. So yeah, see your uncle blessed. I bet you that's an interesting story. I'm very sorry about the astral assassins. Yes, they fucking do it all the time. They do it all the time. Now here's another version of it. So do you guys remember, probably not because you're not my age, but the Inquirer, you probably do remember the National Enquirer and all of that. So what they would do is they would assassinate a celebrity. Okay, they would assassinate a celebrity in a magazine, do a hit. It's called a hit piece on them. It's when they say every shitty, crazy thing and then put a picture like this where they look fucking crazy, right? They love to do that. Like, oh, that's Farrah Fawcett. Like that, right? And it's like, it's called a hit piece. It's designed to destroy the piece of the person that they're doing it on. It's a hit piece. That's another way in the old days of gang stalking, because then everybody that picks up, so let's say this is the book. So this is the magazine and they pick it up and they're reading it. So as a result of that, the words that are said or written here get into the frequency of the person, and then everybody thinks this, right? I mean, I did like the alien baby though in the Inquirer. The alien babies, that was like my favorite thing. I was like, yeah, it's like energy harvesting. You see it. Yes, family members can gang stalk you. Family members can be either through drugs or alcohol hijacked by, I'll call it walk-ins, but they can become a host body to other entities around them. Or you can have a family member that is actually a past life enemy. So there's all kinds of things like that. Yes, I consider it spiritual warfare. Anybody, just look at it this way. I used to read all those magazines. I know. Again, I liked it. Yeah, Elvis is alive and there's a baby alien with Elvis. That's like my favorite. Elvis is in Taco Bell. That was a joke back in the 80s. The only way to protect yourself against anything, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, but the only way to protect yourself is to continue to be yourself and to continue to be successful in whatever it is in your life. It doesn't matter really what you're doing, but put a smile on your face because that bugs the fuck out of them. Enjoy your life. Go out with your friends. Go hiking. If they blow your car up or wreck it, then just go get another car or drive a bike. You're going to have to move forward in your life anyway. It's counterintelligence. Exactly. You're going to have to move forward anyway. Attacked by frequencies. When somebody was asking about the frequency in the air, that's a frequency that they're trying because they want us. They're always running frequencies in the background in order to keep us, okay? In order to keep us down from thinking, from doing what we want. So yeah, the frequencies, actually, I know. So it's higher vibration is your best bet. I mean, really, I will say this, it can bug you what people say or what they try to do to you or, whatever it is, but it takes this much to be kind. And I mean, this much thought, it doesn't take any thought. Telling somebody, you're a nice person or whatever. To thy own self be true. Exactly. True Detective Magazine. It takes, Phoebe, if you think psychic messages, take note of the message. So if the message says, don't go skiing this weekend, keep that in your head, write it down, and then see what happened at the ski hill on the weekend and see if anything makes sense to you. Or if you go skiing, see what happens to you and see when the feeling or the message is relieved. That's the only way to do the psychic work. It's just the way you learn how to deal with it as you get older, as you do stuff. So I feel like people have to, near the hood, they don't want you. Yes, well, they don't want you going anywhere. They don't. Bat Boy Found in a Cave. I love it. Yeah, no, I know. I used to love those magazines. I'm like, look, there are aliens. Of course, this just makes you seem more crazy, but in order to counteract anything that is negative, and I'm going to say it again, because I know there's a lot of young psychics out there. Oh, I was telling the story. Okay, after Keith died, another coincidence. Sorry, I totally switched, but another coincidence was I went to my chiropractor. Okay, Garrick, my chiropractor. I went to him, and he was helping because I was throwing my neck and hips. I actually saw him. I had an appointment 2 days after, like it was appointment after the week that Keith died, but it was actually 2 weeks after he died. And I kept my appointment. I just kept doing everything that I was doing, like on autopilot. I didn't tell them that Keith died. I didn't tell them anything. I don't think I'd said it at that time. I don't think, whatever. I didn't tell them. But when you walk into a chiropractor, they're always like, they're always like stand against the wall. They look at your shoulder. Like, so my shoulders were like this. And he walked right up to me and he said, "Are you okay? Has something happened to you?" And my shoulders were like this. And then I told him, "I love you so much, Ashley. You were so lovely." I told him that Keithy had passed. And so he said, he could tell from my shoulder stance because he got concerned for me because I literally was down here like this, like, yeah. And my shoulders were like, I was hunched. Like because I felt the punch in my stomach. But yes, the body alignment. So I kept going to him. I kept going. Babies can always see spirits. I kept going to him. And, I've been asking Keith to come through, talking to him. I talk to Keith every day. I communicate with him continually. I'm in the car. I'm with people. I talk to him all day long, every day. Anyway, I went to the chiropractor that day and there was somebody leaving. There's like a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, and a red light therapy sauna. So I walked in and the person that was with him walked out the door and left. And so I went in and got on the table and I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to Keithy and I miss him. And he said, Garrick said, "This is really weird, but you saw that guy that just left." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "He was a friend of your son's and he happened to mention it to me. And then you were my next client." How weird is that? That's a message from Keith. You may not think it is, but that kind of connection is the message. It can be as subtle as that. Everybody's looking for it to be like, bombastic, crazy. Okay. You can make a diamond out of the ashes. Absolutely. So you just, you have to take the messages as you get them. There are no coincidences. That actually happened. Yeah, that actually happened. And it's a kid I did not know. This was somebody that went to school with Keith and I did not know. There were so many little frequencies and things that you hear. So you have to understand frequency. Now, gave birth. I see pictures. Yeah, no, I gave birth. I definitely gave birth. I have a video of me giving birth. John, I did home births and I was super pregnant. And my pubic hair is all in the picture. My belly is out and my boobs are out. My nipples are fucking ready to give birth. Like dead serious, y'all. It ain't no moon bump. Like you can literally see. And I actually have a picture of John holding on to me while I'm pushing. So you know how it is. I know, Ashley. That's so sweet. So good for you. Deborah's like not doing it. But yeah, no, I gave birth. People like to say all kinds of everything. It's just, it's unfortunate. But the more hate you get, the more successful, because when God wants his up there, we are God's children. You will survive anything that you come into. You may not want to, but you have. The thing is, I've heard people say all kinds of things like, how can you get up after your son died? I couldn't. I slept on the bathroom floor, but I had to find out what happened to him. And if it truly weren't for Bobby getting a hold of me and on the phone and my friends for checking on me and picking me up and me having to plan Keith's funeral and me having to focus like that, I would have died myself, okay? I would have died. The other thing is, do you think my son, my beautiful son, my Keithy, my little boy, who loved tarot cards, loved selenite, loved to cook his meal preps, loved his weed, loved to go to the gym, loved his motorcycle, loved his bicycle, loved to swim, loved to eat watermelon. Do you know the only time I cooked ham in my house was for Keith? I hate ham and bacon, but Keithy, I say that to John every year. I go, "It's Easter. I'm not cooking you a ham because Keith's not here." I loved Keith. He was the only person I ever cooked special for was Keithy. And I never did eat ham anyway. I never did eat ham. But it's weird because people are like, how can you smile? Well, what should I do? Dump that on everybody in society and have a breakdown on the street corner while I wet my pants and shoot up? I mean, what do you think that my remaining child, Jason, wants me to do, and my granddaughters, Lila and Meta, want me to do? What do you think as a responsible person I should be doing for myself? Do you think my son, Ham is good. Do you think my son wants me to shoot up and overdose? Do you think he wants that? Because, or do you think he wants to try to forge a relationship in a different way of communicating? What do you think he wants? What do you think your loved one wants for you? To destroy yourself? Do you think they want that? Because I think it dishonors them. So when people ask, how can you do it? Or they say you're strong, I'm not strong. I just don't, I'm not going to kill myself. So what am I going to do? I don't like being high, so I'm not going to do that. So what is it you want me to do? You want me to act all what? You want me to set an example for my remaining son by not being respectful to my children? Because I've always set an example for my kids. That's why I exercise every day and I don't drink and I don't smoke and I don't do drugs. I try to raise my kids up. I don't try to squash them. So my son, yes, I can definitely explain spiritual psychosis, at least from my perspective. My son does not want that for me. Neither do my son's friends. Neither does Jason. And I don't want that for anybody in the family. So why would we do that? Everybody dies. Every single person dies. When you get caught in a frequency of fear when it comes to dying, then you're assuming you're not going to die, and you're assuming, I know people want to see you fail. I got up, I still had to pay bills. I had to work. As I say, I had no background. I had just left my marriage. You all know the story. I just moved out of my marriage. I spent my money moving and I worked day to day. That's it. And so it was a problem. I had to actually work. I mean, John worked after both his kids passed. I mean, not after Keith because he was kind of retired, but he did occasionally go back to work. But after Jimmy, he was the main support. That man had to get up after he found his son at his work dead, deal with that, and go back to work that week and continue to pay our bills. That is what he did. That is what he did. So yeah, we absolutely understand. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you struggle. As I said, I didn't sleep and I slept on the bathroom floor. I felt it comfortable on the tile for some reason. And then on the wood floor. Those were the things that I had to do. Yeah, we're all confused. I don't have all the answers. I only have my experience. My stepson died when I gave birth to my son, Keith. My stepson died. And I was given that information when I got pregnant. As I said, the voice, I am clairaudient. Please, before you come at me, make an effort this much to educate yourself properly. Okay? Properly. It's not a show. It's just, what are you going to do? I'm asking you. You have bills to pay. What are you going to do? Let your house go into foreclosure? And do what are you going to do? Are you going to expect people to take care of you? What are you going to do? I'm asking you that seriously. Or do you think that, I had no savings. I had to go back to work, okay? And I went back to work. Yeah, I'm always high functioning. I've been in what do they call it? Post-traumatic stress since I was a kid. You can't be abused, come out of a house and be on the streets and be homeless and not be, okay? You cannot. You're going to be like hyper-wired with anxiety and all of that. But here's the thing. You have to understand, your child, your father, your mother, your husband does not want you to self-destruct. They want to look at you and go, God, that person is so great. She's carrying on, or he's carrying on my legacy. Carrying on that. It's very important. You can't self-destruct yourself because somebody died. You cannot. CPTSD or CTPSD. Yeah, high-functioning depression. I just don't do drugs. I'm very, no, Jason is my son. Jimmy was my stepson. But anyway, oh yeah, I was telling the stupid people that will come on here and heckle me, which just keeps making me money. So thank you. Thank you, bitches. It just keeps making me money. Anyhow, when I got pregnant with Jimmy, Jason was already alive. Jason is mine. My husband had a family prior to me with Jimmy, who was 9 months younger than me, and his daughter, who was 2 months older than me. John had kids at 19 and 20, okay? So when he had a kid at 19, I was born that same year. I didn't know him. We were both Canadian, but I lived somewhere else. Anyway, 26 months ago. Oh, see, you talk to him, you know when it's authentic or not, you know. So when I got pregnant with Jimmy, I heard, and again, people, look up what clairaudient means. Get yourself, okay? Get yourself. I commit to no one, but thank you. I commit to God in the name of Jesus. Amen. I'm here to do what God wants me to do. I'm not here to do anything else. No, I don't have Jimmy on my arm because he's not my biological child, so I wouldn't cross that boundary. Because he has his mother's still here, so she might think that that's really weird if I put her son on my arm. And I don't speak to her. I mean, I don't know her. I've only met her a few times. So, and she was nice enough, but I mean, I'm not going to go and ask, can I put your child on my arm? So I don't cross that boundary, but I have a picture of Jimmy right there. Jimmy's right there. But anyway, that's John and his first wife's child. That's their children. So this is mine and John's, and so this is when they're my children, then I have say in what I put on my body because they came out of my body, in spite of what some of you weirdos say. You're a guy. Yep, my vagina says I'm a guy. My vajayjay says I'm here. My vajayjay, it's very pretty by the way, says I'm a guy. Idiots. Anyway, I heard, ping, you're pregnant. I felt it like this, like a pin drop. And I heard, ping, you're pregnant, okay? And then I heard, one's coming and one's going. So obviously I had 2.5-year-old little Jason, and I was freaked out when I heard that. I hear it like that. Like I'm reading your stuff. Your oldest son is a double Sag. You know how wild they are. They just don't listen. So I heard that, and then I went and looked if I got pregnant on March 17th, when that baby would be born. It was St. Patrick's Day I got pregnant. I've told you the story. I went down to the bicycle club in Burbank. John was there. I called him. We didn't have cell phones. Okay. He called me, from the bar. I went down to pick him up, dragged him home. We had sex. I heard, ping, you're pregnant. I said to John, oh my God, you just got me pregnant. And he said, I'm not even out of the room yet. I haven't left the crime scene yet, right? So I looked up when that baby would be born, and it would be a December baby. Jimmy was December 9th. So I put 2 and 2 together. Now, granted, I don't know if that's what the voice meant. And I tended to, it's very hard when somebody is your everything, but they're still your everything and they can see you. They don't want you to self-destruct. So I put it together that the baby would come like December 16th. That's my math. And so I knew it wasn't Jason, but then I started to worry about Jimmy. Now, at that time, I know, too much information, right? I know. People are so fucking stupid. Then I'll see, by the way, my videos are copywritten, just so you know. So this is coming out of my mouth, and when you use the video that comes out of my mouth, you can get a copyright strike. Test me and find out. Anyway, because and my likeness and image are protected because this is my copywritten channel with all of the creation coming out of my head. This is it. Remember that. Anyway, so as I didn't even know that there was a drug issue with Jimmy because you can see his pictures. It didn't look like it. So anyway, as I went through the pregnancy, it came October, and I think it was Halloween. And we started to learn that there was a drug issue, okay? I know, they're using my name, but they're not me. You know it's not me, but TikTok does nothing. It's really weird. Anyway, yeah, they use my name, but you should know it's not me. Everything on my platforms are at Sloan Bella, spelt my name, because it is my name. It is trademarked. Neither YouTube nor TikTok Neither one of them recognizes a trademark, and yet they fucking say that they do. But image and likeness is a legal issue. We know this. You can't go stealing clips from a movie and putting them up over there or whatever. But yeah, tell everybody it's not me. Only my channel, which is my channel. Yeah, TikTok, it's really, really destructive. Anyway, long story short, in October, I started to notice there were issues with like ingesting too many substances or whatever. And we went through that. So I became more and more and more and more and more worried, right? More and more and more. And I started to get that feeling that I had when Keith passed at that time. I started to hear it in my head. So on the day that Keith took his first steps is the day that his brother died. So when Keith turned 10 months, and it was October 9th, and I actually think it was the 8th because we didn't get the call till the morning. And I think he left that night and probably, he did die that time. Anyway, he died then. So I was going through postpartum. My hair fell out. I didn't eat. I panicked. It was really, really, really horrible. I was judged when I couldn't cry. Yeah, I couldn't with Jimmy. It practically destroyed me. I had a nervous breakdown, and what's not my voice? This is my voice. What? Anyway, and then I had the depression, the death, and that was very interesting because I will tell you this, what I experienced with Jimmy taught me a lot. He showed me how he died at the wake. He came in through the crown chakra. I took the cake. Okay, we had a wake at the neighbor's house. My friend Marisa that I go hiking with, it was her parents' house, her childhood home, and she was best friends with both of John's kids. Anyway, they had the food, the service after the funeral, right? And so I took half a cake. I cut half a cake and I went downstairs, and there was like a bathroom, and I locked the door because I couldn't handle the energy of all the people. Because people talk and they're happy, but they're sad. There's a lot of communication. So I sat in the bathroom, and Jimmy just swirled into my head. He swirled in. He showed me how he tried, what he did, what it felt like, and how he tried to get back into his body. And he like thumped on the top of my head. Thank you for that, Debbie. Thank you so much. And he, about your friend who's putting together. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll look on Instagram. I haven't looked today. Anyway, he came right in through here. And then when he couldn't get back into his body, like he kept trying to get back into his body, and he swirled around like this, right? There's death every day. Every single person dies. Imagine if you're in the Middle East, how many of your family members have died. So if you're running around saying that death is this and death is that, you are going to die. Deal with it. Get your stuff in order. Death is not what they say it is. We all die. Gigi, it's your voice, but is it your voice? Yeah, it's your voice, but it isn't. You just I hear sentences. I have heard voices outside of me. Like I turn around looking for voices, but it's something inside of your head. And then I start repeating it because I'm OCD and I get Tourette's, and that's what happens to me. That's just what happens. Just being honest. That's how it's always worked for me. That's how messed up stuff. So what happened with Jimmy after I felt that and he came through here? I mean, I felt him always. I always felt Jimmy. Always felt Jimmy. And he was very clear, conversationalist. And as you all know who watch this, there, Burbank girly. Jimmy went to Burbank High School. Rachel, Jimmy went to Burbank High School. He would be turning 57 this year. So whatever year that is, he'd be turning 57. Your cats also crossover. But so after I felt that, I got very ill physically because it just threw me. When you're talking about psychic psychosis, it threw me right out of, there you go. Yes, Ab Divine. See, you know what I'm talking about. Real people know what I'm talking about. But it threw me right out of my body. And then I started to hallucinate. Now, what they do on the other side, and I want you to understand why anger, rage, depression, addiction are so negative to human beings. Now I'm watching the time because I have to get to my fucking class for an hour and a half. I take like 3 hours of classes a day and run. Oh my God. Anyhow, not the point. Here's the point. What you have to be very careful of is when you are in the midst of any of those very low vibrations, rage, depression, post-traumatic stress, all of those things. When you're in the midst of that, the door opens up. Entities and evil demons, if you want to call them that, who seem and can trick you. So tricksters can get into your frequency. After Jimmy died, I kept hearing, and thank God, Tanner is out there. Tanner was Jason's friend. Tanner was 4, Jason was 3.5, 4, and then Tanner was 5. And I was at home with the kids. John was working, and I could not get off the couch. Keithy was just little. And so if it were not for Tanner, I used to lock all the doors in the house so they couldn't get out to the pool. There was a fence around the pool. I locked that. I shut all the curtains. I gave them macaroni and Cheerios, whatever. Tanner made them lunch. Jason made them lunch, whoever. Keithy, all of that. And then I had to lay down because I could hardly get up, okay? That is the only time in my life I've had to take psych meds because I couldn't even function after having a baby and having that happen. It was so messed up, so messed up. But the voices in my head kept telling me that I needed to put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger. I used to hide in the closet. I hid in the closet. I told the voices, I'm not going to do that. And I would hear, but Jimmy misses you. You could help him. You could do that. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was a struggle. And then I had a psychosis so bad. See, when you're on that frequency and then you hear things and you're either on drugs, like let's say you're a meth addict or you're an alcoholic or you're hormonal, which is also a frequency, and hormonal frequencies, people have a problem with demonic whispers. Yeah, people have a problem with postpartum, okay, which is a frequency low when you're feeling like that. No, it was terrible. I remember one of my friends, and she dealt with a death after that. Her husband passed away really young. But Kimberly, she came to the house and John let her in the house, and I was kind of in the bedroom sitting on the floor, and she was trying to see if I was okay. John was too fucked up to help me, but he tried. He tried. So we went to the psychiatrist. This is a true story. We went to the psychiatrist, and I was in such a psychotic break at the time from both the hormones and the depression and then having the baby. Yeah, no, they kept telling me to do it. I did not do it. I didn't because they said Jimmy wanted me to cross over. And the one thing I did know is you have to try to think logically, which is hard if you're high, but I wasn't high. But Jimmy used to cook chicken for me. That sounds weird. I eat the same things every day, but he would cook grilled chicken and grill peppers for me and John, like chicken and peppers. He would make us dinner. And because he lived with us at the time until he moved out, after I had Keith, like right after that part, so that I could exercise and take care of my child. So he would not want me leaving my child. So when you talk about suicide, okay, people, anybody, they are hearing voices telling them to do it. That is considered murder from the other side. They are hearing voices. They may call it schizophrenic. They may call it a drug-induced schizophrenia. They may call it a psychotic break. They may call it you're batshit crazy. They may call it whatever that they label it. But when somebody commits suicide, God does not take them to a bad spot. Because first of all, it's a trick. They've been tricked. Some voice from outside of them is saying, just do it, just do it. God does not want you to do that. That's not of God's world. That is of the beast system. And when your frequencies, oh my God, your 10-year-old cousin, because he didn't know, we don't teach kids this. You have to teach kids that these, yes, postpartum psychosis, you have to teach kids that this is a thing that happens. But they don't teach it. They just teach it like you're schizophrenic or you're, no, that's not what happens. Because I had it happen to me. I had those voices for a good 7 months tell me that I needed to do that. And I just chose not to. And yeah, they're the trolls on the astral level. That's correct. So there's a lot of that goes on. Jimmy was, I thought he was 27. He was 28 and I was 29. I had just had Keith and there were a lot of issues with him. And after I had Keith 5 years ago, oh, good Lord. See, that's an energetic attack from the astral level. And oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's just I'm not strong. What are you going to do? Nobody's strong who's here. None of us are strong. We're just here because we choose not to do that. That's why. That's the only way. It's not strength. It's just we choose not to do that. That's it. That's an attack from the other side. Could nonverbal autism be attacked? I don't know if somebody being born autistic would be that, but it could be, I guess. But yeah, it could be. It was we're all traumatized. It was very, very difficult, but I tried to raise my kids. John tried to raise his kid, our kids. We did the best we could. That's it. That's what we did. And Jimmy, was 28 and I was 29 because I had Keith turning 29 into my 30th year. John was 51 when Jimmy passed and 50 when he had Keithy. 50 turned, no, I think he was 51 and 51 when Jimmy passed. Yeah, it was in the same year. So Johnny was 51 and Johnny, okay, I was 53, 60. John was 74 when Keith passed and I was 53. So, and then I turned 54 right after. So we had Keith's celebration of life on my birthday. After that, when you get tricked, you do you think you're held accountable if you don't have the wherewithal, like the poor 10-year-old little boy that killed himself? Do you think you are going to be punished by God? God doesn't do that. God doesn't do that. That's not what happens. You are, same as a drug overdose, same as anything, you are put across onto the other side and your energy is brought back to a harmonious level, and then you're taken into a life review. Because if you look at it this way, if they can trick you into doing that, they've gotten one against God. If they can trick you into doing drugs, they've gotten one against God. Their goal is to go against God. Oh my God, Javi, I'm so sorry. See, that stays with you, but your mom does not want you to self-destruct. I'm a mom and I can promise you that. She wants nothing but good for you. Nothing but good. I feel like you're 40 now. I know, but it's a huge impact on you, sweetheart. It's a huge impact on you. And your whole life is my whole life at this point, and actually after what happened with Jimmy, changed the order of our life and changed Keithy's life. Keith was born into that and changed Jason's life. Trauma for everybody, okay? I hope my voice doesn't sound like Kris Jenner. Thank you. I hope not. But next they'll be saying Sloan's playing Kris Jenner as a character. I would never be brunette. Hear me clearly. No offense to brunettes. That's how you know that's a lie. That's a lie. Sorry. Yeah, I know it's but your loved one, whether it be your mother, your stepkids, your kids, and Jimmy prepared me and came and crossed his brother over. That is who told me. I knew he was there. I said it on a live stream. Jimmy's here. I wonder who he's coming to get. Just because you say something doesn't mean you're making it happen. That's fucking bizarre. Or as I said, Orange Man Bad would be 6 feet under because nobody liked him during COVID, from what I could tell. Nobody liked him. They all said things and they threatened him. And yet here he stands, breathes and lives, even though it's in court. But none of that mattered. So none of that mattered. That's not how God works. People have a time. People have energy. We have free will, but if you get in the way of somebody else during their free will, is your free will, or are you in the midst of their? Is it a reaction to their action? Well, no, I'm saying Orange Man Bad. Would he not be dead? I'm asking you. Since people say if you say it, you're making it happen. No one has that kind of control. Who has that kind of control? Why don't I just say it to the IRS? Why don't I just say that? No. Why don't I say it to the crazy neighbor? Whatever. No one has that kind of control over you don't have, we have no control in this life. You live and it's a free for all. People think they have control with money, wealth, and power. But if you understand, that's still not control. P. Diddy's not control. He doesn't have any control. He has control because you value what he has. I don't value what he has. So he doesn't have control over me. I don't value what he has. I could give a shit less. I've managed my whole life doing whatever, and I still do what I do the way that I do it. Nothing has changed, okay? Yes, if we had control, nobody would be fat. We would we'd be thinner and younger. We'd all be driving whatever car, insert name of flashy car, Porsche over here. We'd all be doing that. We'd have summer homes and winter homes. Nobody would be fighting. Our kids wouldn't be on drugs. Do you not think for a fucking minute that there's millions of people across the world that have said, I think my child has a drug problem. I'm pretty sure they have a drug problem. I'm nervous about a drug problem. Do you think they're willing that on their child? Or do you feel they're intuitively picking it up and speaking, which is a form of communication, not necessarily invoking? There's a difference. You're allowed to say things, okay? It has no, or orange man bad would be not here. That's the way that would be. I mean, for God's sakes, Bush would be gone. You know what I'm saying? Little Georgie Bush, that guy. That guy who can't he would be gone. Yeah, there's a lot of nasty stuff. There's a lot of nasty stuff that goes on. It's true. But the way to avoid it is to not live in it. People are going to say what they want to say about you. Look what they said. Look what they said about Anna Nicole Smith when she was young. Look what they said. People called her ugly and they attacked the shit out of her. Why? For what reason? Because you don't look like that. I guarantee you're not 5'10" and look like that. You do not look like this. Choking me. You do not look like that. You do not. I love my Subaru. I know. Well, then you would have a new one or two of them so you could take vacation in it. But, you know, I know Anna Nicole Smith, they love to tear people down. I'm saying they attack the shit out of that woman. She wasn't dumb. Nothing was dumb about Anna at all. Nothing at all was dumb about her at all. Not one thing. So, except maybe her choices in maybe what she chose to do. There was nothing ugly about Anna Nicole Smith. Nothing. Not one thing. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. But people chose to attack her. She was gorgeous. And the people calling her ugly, I can't even imagine what those like little people's feet look like with their little hoofs and their... I can't imagine, right? And yes, people get spiritually attacked. Yes, narcissists are real. They absolutely are. People get attacked, and that's what I was saying. They take host bodies that don't have souls, and it's like the Inquirer. They put them on magazines. They put them on these platforms like these. She was not a gold digger. The woman made her own money. She wasn't a gold digger. And what do you call an 80-year-old man that she wasn't a gold? What is a gold digger? What are you saying? What are you saying? You want to marry somebody that isn't going to buy you gifts? Is that what you're fucking saying? What are you saying? What do you mean by gold digger? Here's a gold digger. Strictly marrying for money and leaving the relationship. Ask yourself, if she's digging for gold, what is the man that married her digging for? How come he gets off scot-free and we just target her? What's his issue being 40 years older than her? What's his issue? You want to go after her? What's his issue? I'm serious. What's his fucking issue, right? What is his issue? She paid for men she was with, actually. Typical of women that were former strippers. But I guess we got to tell that narrative. It's the wrong narrative. You can be. Yeah, what was he after? What was he taking from her? And then lying to her about what he left her. What's that? That's a bait and switch. He would have never had her had he not offered it up that way. So here's a lesson to men. Don't come at a woman with money unless you expect them to take your money, because that's what you're throwing out there. Hello. So anyway, yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't drive that. He took her energy, right? But it's interesting. So you can look at it. I mean, you can look at it any way you want, but no, he didn't get any. Now I'm totally stuffed again, y'all. It's terrible. Anyway, I have to go to my class. I have to get in the car and I have a drive. So this has been my night tonight. So much fun stuff coming. Like it's just really fun. I'm going to put the link for Andro's show. It sounds like I'm saying Andrew. I'm saying Andro. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to put the link here. It drops tomorrow. So that's going to be super awesome. The cat is hiding somewhere. That's going to be super awesome. And yeah, I'm going to have a wonderful evening after I torture myself in a class where I have to put my arms on the bottom of the chair where you sit, and Orange Man Bad. You know what they call it? Say Orange Man Bad. I'm not saying his name on here. So I'm putting my arms on a chair like this, and then my belly's supposed to go on the ground. It's so tough. I really enjoy exercising. I have so much fun. And just because I smile and exercise and continue to live the life the way that I did live it does not mean I don't die because my kid died every single day. I think of nothing else but that. That's all. You're never not going to think of anything but that. So I am. It's going to be really fun, y'all. I know I love exercising. It's the best. It's going to be my new career. It's the best. But yeah, it's very painful. I did the class on Saturday, and I'm trying to catch her before I go to do Bunny XO. Remember that. I don't know when it's going to drop, but I will be there next week with Bunny XO. And then we're going into other projects that we're doing. So keep everything in mind, y'all. Everything in mind, because it's going to be very exciting. I think. I don't know. If you want to learn about the metaphysical stuff from people who understand it and know it, then you'll keep following. So there's that. And somebody asked me, oh my God, somebody asked me, are protection spells bad? Okay, the word spell in and of itself is manipulation of energy, but there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself. So it's probably in what kind of spells you do. If you do a protection spell to hurt another person, just like if you deliberately attack a person like gangstalking, or like home invasion their home or whatever, you're hurting them. But if you're protecting yourself, that's not a bad thing. You're allowed to protect yourself. People who attack are the bad people. Yeah, you can put up a shield, you can do all that. But people who attack are the bad people. Okay? Yeah, I mean, revenge. You know what the best revenge is? Laughing all the way to the bank with a big smile on your face and success. That manipulation of free will is black magic. Absolutely. So, I mean, yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't do that. But you are allowed to ask or pray for protection spells if people are coming after you. Yes, anybody who is of God is spiritually attacked. You can tell who the ones are. You can hear people talk, and you can hear their articulation and their intellect and what they know, and if they're truthful. And then you can hear Jason calls them bots. I think Kyle Marissa Roth described the bots coming on her channel. You can hear the bots when they talk because they have no value in what they're saying. So like when they troll your stuff, you can hear it, right? So, I mean, that's what they do. That's what they do. Dems like they don't come near me these days. Good job. You're going to have to teach me. Yeah, let the troll bot money roll in. Exactly. I don't know, whatever. I mean, every time you mention a name, I get another deal. What can I tell you? People are more interested in me. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I appreciate it because now I'm NPCs. Yes, thank you. Now I'm finally going to have my career go the way I wanted to after 40 years, just so you know. Because you people are speaking. Okay, go to a chiropractor for your neck. And you know what? I'll tell you what really helped me. Look, again, hairy armpits, y'all. Deal with it. Okay, so not really too hairy, but there's some hair there. The girls now are letting their hair grow in, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, stretching. I've been doing 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise classes, 5 a week. This is besides running. And I used to throw my hips out, and I used to throw all of that. And it used to really send me to the chiropractor a lot. So what I do now is I stretch. Like before pole class, I have an absolute like 30 minutes of stretching. And then before aerial class, we stretch. And then I take flexibility and stretching classes. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? It really helped my neck because I used to throw this out, my lower back out, all of that. So there's that. Aurelia, Ontario. Yes, I know it well. Okay, you guys. I'm not very flexible at all, but I can. I mean, I can do things, but I'm a runner. So running is an energy that actually tightens your muscles and doesn't elongate them. So it's two opposite types of exercise. So I have to stretch to counterbalance the running. That's just how it is. I think everybody should exercise as much as they can. Look at everything, cleaning up the garage, cleaning up the backyard. It's all exercise, y'all. It's all exercise. Do whatever kind of exercise you like. Yes, holidays are pagan rituals. Absolutely. You guys, how can I find a boyfriend? I don't have a clue. You're talking, I don't know. I don't know. All right, you guys. Yeah, I love moving my body. My kitten stretches. She's on the run. Yeah, all holidays are. Ask Deb. Deb knows everything over here. All right, you guys. I have to go. I have to go because I'm going to be late and they kick you out if you're late. So I'm going. I'm going to have fun. And again, thank you all. Please, I'm going to put the link for Andro's. I've said it like 25 times. Andro's show. I'm going to put it up and you're all going to go there and sign in. Follow him too if you can, or subscribe. I think his channel is going to go up with the interviews. He does a lot of interesting interviews. So I'll see you over there tomorrow. Okay, bye you guys. See you later.